To do. Let's go and get started. We're Joan I confirmed with today, so I'm assuming she's going to be on as well as some other folks. So our thought is we were going to start with some breakout groups, just to identify something you're grateful for this year, and then maybe something that you overcame, accomplished, or innovated over this coming year. So we'd like you, Crystal's gonna break us into some breakout groups for about 10 minutes. And as people join, they'll be added to those groups. But we're gonna focus on one thing that you're grateful for this year, and then one thing you're proud that you overcame, accomplished, or innovated, or got innovative on, okay? You got those two things to share, and Crystal is gonna break us out.
All right, here we go.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back. You know, I realized I did not introduce myself at the beginning of the meeting. I know a few I just met, but I'm Michael Gunther, and I'm the president of the board of the GGBA, and we're glad you're here today. The GGBA is an all-volunteer board. We have no staff. We have a part-time person for about 5 hours a week helping us right now. And so I'm always proud of what the GGBA is able to get accomplished with everybody. You know, this year has been quite the journey. In fact, we had all been together for our power lunch in March, and it was the next week is when we went into shelter in place. And here we are, 9 months later, back in the shelter in place. So part of me kind of felt we went full circle. And this year has been full of opportunities, challenges, et cetera, for everybody. And so what I'd like to do is from the breakout sessions, would anyone like to share what maybe something someone said that they were grateful for, or something you said within those groups? And then what we're going to do, I was waiting for Joan. I was hoping she was going to attend it. If not, we'll record this for her as well, and make sure that we're able to get this to her. So let's start with some breakout sessions. Would someone like to share some of their thoughts, things? Anna.
Oh, right. Well, so I was grateful because I told a joke and everybody laughed. And I appreciated that because the last time I was on Zoom and told a joke, it wasn't even remotely funny.
Oh,
That's great. That's great.
got dad jokes.
So who else like to share? Luis?
So Anna was in our group, and I can attest that we did give a chuckle. But yeah, we heard some things like, you know, we're grateful for our health and for being employed or being within an industry that can continue to maintain itself. And then also on the innovation front, and I shared this with Brooke, learning Zoom and just how to Zoom. Like that was just a whole nother challenge in the beginning of the year. But yeah, a lot of folks grateful for the opportunities that we've been given this year.
Great. Thank you, Luis. Anyone else like to share? Gina?
Yeah, a lot of the same. A lot of being grateful for just health of ourselves and health of our loved ones. That's a big reoccurring theme. And there was a lot of gratitude around adapting to the environment. And, you know, Eric was in the group, and he told a really great story about how he was able to transition to an online world, and especially being an athletic coach, a physical coach, requires so much hands-on that he was able to make that transition. And he told a story about one client who was having a difficulty even walking, and by the time they were able to work together in a virtual situation, the person just ran a mile. So it was a great story of perseverance and overcoming the challenges.
That's great. I need him as a coach just so I can run a mile. That's great. Good. Thank you. Anyone else like to share? One thing that I think was consistent in our group was how people have been agile and adapting, but how Zoom has also allowed them to participate. David was even saying he couldn't be here otherwise if we were doing this physical He's down in Palm Springs. And so just being able to, I couldn't be president of the GGBA this year because I wouldn't have the ability to get up to all our meetings. And so it's allowed me that opportunity this year too. So we're just grateful, trying to find those blessings even during this crazy time.
I want to join in on something on that. First of all, I know we shouldn't have regrets right now, but I do regret that I didn't buy Zoom stock on 9 months, but that's another story. But who was it that was talking about the things that they're thankful for is the appreciation of people for small business right now?
That was Fran and Audrey.
It is so true. People are now finally realizing that our small businesses are so valuable and that, you know, we couldn't have life without them. And our life is so much better with our small businesses and all businesses, but our small, and I always throw in diverse business and making sure that our small and diverse businesses are taken care of and are appreciated.
Great. Thank you, David. All right. Anybody else? Brooke.
I'll just add in, aren't we all thankful for the internet? So I had nightmares about this, that if we had no internet and the people who have slow internet, which happens to me sometimes in the rural place that I live, it would be just a crazy bad world. So I'm very grateful for the internet.
Great. Thank you.
Imagine doing this over dial-up.
No.
Oh, that noise. Remember the noise it used to make? Some of us older folks remember that probably. So, well, great. Well, let's do this. We're going to honor Joan Kerr right now, who just retired from PG&E. And we're recording this. We'll be able to get this to her. And Joan, you know, for many of you who don't know, she spent the last 11 years at PG&E in charge of their diverse supplier program. And prior to that, she spent many years with women-owned businesses and diverse businesses on really helping them get set up and helping them get connected and really building their businesses and being kind of cutting edge at the time, especially as utilities were just starting being required to have diverse businesses as part of their spend, their purchasing and spend. So I invited a few folks today to share some thoughts. And so I'm going to go through my list here of folks I have, and I'm going to end with my thoughts. And then we have Vanna White here, otherwise known as Crystal Derwicki. And Crystal is going to share off the award that we are going to be sending to Joan as well. So I'm going to start with Lisa Castillo from AT&T to give some of her thoughts about Joan.
All right. I had a feeling, Michael, you'd have me first up. Anyhow, well, I have to say I will miss seeing my friend Joan Kerr out in the supplier diversity community. Joan left a great legacy when she retired from AT&T. She worked for the company for about almost 25 years. And when she retired, she led the supplier diversity program at PG&E. Although I never had the opportunity to work for Joan, her work in the supplier diversity world was truly legendary, and I was already in awe of her before we had the opportunity to meet. While I never really gave it much thought before tonight, when I was writing some comments and my thoughts about her, I think I was trained by Joan by proxy through my first boss, Sheila Bright, who worked for Joan and the AT&T Supplier Diversity Program for many years. Bumping into Joan was always a special moment for me, whether it was at the airport, meeting, conference. I really enjoyed our conversations together. Joan has an unrelenting passion for making a difference in the world that went far beyond supplier diversity in her day job. She's a women's activist, committed to the environment, the elderly, and she even spent her free time this year writing letters to encourage people to vote. She truly is a remarkable person. This is farewell to Joan for right now. However, I know all of us are wishing her a fantastic next chapter. We want her to enjoy her beautiful new granddaughter, daughter, son-in-law, and whatever new journey life has to offer her. She deserves the very best. Blessings to you, Joan. Thank you for all that you've done for the great work in supplier diversity and making such a huge difference in our lives, all of our lives. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. That was beautiful. And thank you for your insight on her. I learned more about her right there than I knew about her in a long time. So that's great. Thank you for that. And I love that connection too. She's connected a lot of people's lives as well. I'm going to move over to Lisa Robin from Comcast.
Hi, everyone. And well, I was thinking about this too earlier, and thank you for asking me to say a few words about Joan. I met Joan probably about 4 years ago, and I actually met Joan before and heard about Joan before I had met her. And what was described to me was Joan was the godmother of supplier diversity. And I kept thinking, I need to meet her. You know, I'm newer to supplier diversity, and when I met her, I have to say I was in awe. The first impression I had of her was, one, she was dynamic, and then also she had a special gift, which is really sets her apart, is her passion for supplier diversity. And also, I learned later through many meetings with Joan, and Lisa Castillo probably knows this too, is her passion for sustainability and the environment. And so that actually has helped me with my work as well. And also in my personal life, is being more sustainable in my community. And then also just really my wish for Joan is to continue to have that passion and really share that passion in the communities that she's going to be in the future, and also just to continue to make this world a better place like she has. So thank you, Joan, for everything. Truly appreciate you.
That's great. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. I love that godmother of supplier diversity. That's awesome. So I'm going to switch over to Brooke Langle. And Brooke is a diverse supplier that I first met Brooke at a PG&E event that Joan was hosting. And we found out we both lived in the same town and knew just about everybody. And we shared office space in this co-working space that we didn't know for a period of time. So Brooke, I'll pass it on to you.
Thanks. And Michael, feel free to use your virtual hook when I go on and on, because there's so much to say about Joan and how she's affected my life and definitely my business. But I didn't realize it at the time, but we had just gotten an MSA with PG&E about the time that Joan was on board. And my longtime mentor was a director at PG&E, Jane Batty, and she connected me with Joan. And I'm an accidental entrepreneur, biologist by trade, and I didn't know what I needed to survive in the world of PG&E. And Joan was instrumental in that and giving me so many opportunities, including a sponsorship to the UCLA MDE program, where I just learned critical things that have helped me survive as a business over these years. And again, things that I didn't think I needed to know, but I really did. She also introduced me to the GGBA and the NGLCC. Living in my world with my head down in this growing business, I knew nothing about the certification that was available. And Joan invited me to a luncheon in San Francisco. And it wasn't until I was sitting there that the light bulb went off of like, oh, I know I'm here. And she, again, over the years, connected me with so many opportunities. We had a sustainability program, but she connected us with an opportunity to work with Sustrana that had a sustainability platform where we really were able to take our sustainability program to a grown-up level, if you were, and connecting me with so many amazing leaders in our industry and within PG&E, and having tough love when it was needed, and just saying like, hey, you've got to compete with everyone here. This is not a handout. This is not a gimme. We're going to help you, but you have to help yourself too. And so I've just been so inspired by her and so affected personally I was shocked when I saw her email that she was retiring, even though I knew it was coming. And Joan, you'll be tremendously missed. You really are a pioneer, and you've made a huge difference that I believe will be lasting.
Great. Well, thank you, Brooke. I appreciate that. And before I go with my comments, is there anyone else that might have want to share comments on if they've connected with Joan before I go? All right. Well, it's funny, Joan, I was actually connected to Joan through one of my clients, Joni Anderson from Anderson Burton Construction. And Joni is this amazing entrepreneur. She's a woman-owned business, has grown her company from about $500,000 to $80 million, and won SBA Western Region Business of the Year. And she called me up one day and said, "You need to get LGBTE certified." I said, "I don't even know what that is." She goes, and she told me, she goes, "You need to get certified, and I need to introduce you to PG&E and introduce you to Joan." And I said, "Okay." And so I got certified, and I met Joan. I invited up Joni, introduced me to her. Joan immediately helped me get connected. She invited me to speak during Gay Pride. She put on a big event for LGBT businesses. And I did an 1.5-hour talk where I just closed another Terra Verde. That's where I got Terra Verde this last year, closed from that talk 3 years ago. She hired us to help diverse suppliers. So she actually then brought us in and hired us. And most importantly, at that talk was a table from the GGBA. And I met Gina there, I met Paul, I met other folks, and I had never heard of the GGBA before. And that's how I ended up joining the GGBA, was through Joan and that connection. And I think how many lives she's actually impacted and changed. And Joan, you probably don't even realize it, that the trickle effect that you have had on so many folks. I even remember a story Brooke told me about sustainability, and Brooke actually, they ended up getting a Prius because Joan said, it'd be really good to be economical because you're driving all over the place. And Brooke and her company got a Prius to help with that. And so she's impacting the environment by also helping to impact diverse suppliers. She's one of those people that will be missed. And I've talked to so many folks who are in a diverse supplier field and arena at various corporations, and they all have something or connection to Joan. And so, Joan, we want to thank you as part of the LGBT community and the Golden Gate Business Association for your constant collaboration with us and supporting us and engaging us and helping us get better and helping us lead the LGBT certification process. So we were one of the first chambers to do that under your guidance. And because of that, we're actually naming an annual award after you. And it's the Joan Kerr Award for the Outstanding Diverse Supplier by one of our corporate partners. There's, Crystal, can you show that up? I don't know if you guys can all see that. Ella Print helped us with that beautiful award. And so it's going to, every year, every December, we're going to acknowledge one of our corporate partners for the work they've done with our organization and our community. And Joan, you're going to be remembered every year because it's going to be the Joan Kerr Award that people are going to be able to receive every year in recognition for what you have done for our community. And so I'm hoping right now, as you're watching this, Joan, you realize the love and the admiration so many folks have for you and the work you've done and the impact on all the businesses and the employees and all those people that are employed by those businesses. You've had a huge impact in helping various marginalized communities get stronger and become stronger. So thank you for that, and thank you for all the work you've done. So let's give her an applause. And so I want to thank everybody for sharing their stories and about Joan. We're going to make sure she gets that award along with this video so she can experience that. Feel free to reach out to her as well. And let her know that about the award. She did not know it was going to be named after her in this annual award, so I'm excited about that. Just in wrapping up, this year is a year to be grateful. We've had a lot of struggles. We still have a lot of struggles ahead, I think, both business-wise, making sure all of us and our families and our employees stay healthy. But I do know, having a sense of community and having a sense of belonging help keep us healthy. And so as we enter into the new year, just continue to think of the community that the GGBA has created, as well as the other communities you belong to. And it's really through community that we'll get stronger. And a sense of that, too, it's a season of giving. And is Anna here? I want to acknowledge Anna Clebre. When she just renewed her dues this month, she also offered to gift dues to a member that may be struggling right now. So I thought that was a great way for members to give back to other members. And so, Anna, I just want to acknowledge that in the season of giving. Speaking of PG&E, and David, you're here. You feel free to promote this as well to any of the other chambers. PG&E is sponsoring an event next Thursday, the 17th, from 1 to 3 o'clock. I'm going to be facilitating a session on not just surviving 2021, but thriving in 2021. And so our goal is to make it a very interactive session where at the end of the session, you'll leave with a game plan entering 2021. So you can be relaxed going to the holidays, knowing you have a game plan to thrive this coming year. So I encourage you to attend that or let other people know. And the last thing is, we're a membership organization and our board has a lofty goal this year. We want to add 100 new members this year. And we're working it. And we have been adding members every month. Our first month of the goal, I think we added 7 new members. So if you're not a member, please join. If you know someone who should be a member, please let them know they should join. And our board that's been working very diligently the last 3 months is going to be presenting to the membership our 2021 plan. We have a calendar of programming for the year that we're going to present. There's going to be many ways for you to get involved, from advocacy to building businesses and developing leaders. So I encourage you to stay tuned of things coming. Have an amazing holiday season. Stay grateful. There's a lot of stressors out there still, but stay grateful, be thankful. And I appreciate all of you for being here. And Joan, thank you for all that you've done. And everyone have a safe, happy holiday. But be there on the 17th from 1 to 3. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Take care.